So they can come up with their own question. They can create their own questions that can trigger the common sense in their mind.
Yes, that develops their critical
Uh,
thinking,
Good. Correct.
which increases your topic development score.
100%.
Amazing, Ali. Wow. Okay.
And if later on I remembered anything, I will share it with you on the group in a post. I wish
Okay.
everyone passes this. I swear, I told them it's a blessing in disguise that they are using the AI. Ask me why.
Why is it a
First
blessing
of
in
all,
disguise, Ali?
because the AI is programmed to detect your accent. Okay, and it's a TOEFL exam. It's testing your English proficiency as a second language. They know that you're not a native American speaker, so they're not expecting you to speak like a native speaker. They don't care about your accent. But the AI program can match your accent. They will tell, oh, Ali has a Lebanese accent. So I will compare it to other Lebanese people who are fluent in English. So the AI will know that your accent is a normal Lebanese accent. Whereas the human raters will not detect all your accent. They will
Blessing in
simply say that,
disguise.
oh yeah, so that's the blessing in disguise. That's the blessing in disguise.
I see it now. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, because the human raters, they're not aware about all the accents in the world, whereas the AI is aware of them.
Mm.
And you
All
should
right.
know that the AI can solve that problem for you if your answer is convincing, is related to the topic, or you're talking like anything just to fill up the 45 seconds. Okay. So it should be easier for you. It should make you more confident about your score. It should make you feel that, oh, I can get the 26. It doesn't, it should not make you go to the AI programs to see if I can get the 26 or not, because the AI can rate, as I said, your pronunciation, your this stuff, that a good content can overcome them. If you will get a
Content,
high score in
topic
everything.
development.
Correct. If you will get a high score in everything, in the pronunciation and everything, you will end up getting 30, and you don't need 30, you need 26. So that's what I'm trying to point out, at that the content can overcome these small mistakes,
Yes.
and you will end up getting 26 and above. I ended up getting 27, for example. Even
Yes.
people who are hearing me right now, they will know that I have an accent, an obvious accent, but eventually I got the 27.
Yes.
And more than I need. And I'm glad to God. God like loves me so much, honestly. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm
All
so
right.
glad. Even though I ended up, by the way, I felt that it was my worst performance ever. You know that? I was about to cancel my exam and leave the test room when I ended up the speaking section.
What
Because
happened?
I didn't finish the questions. I didn't have the time to mention all the reasons, for example, and question
Oh,
2, 3, 4, all the points. But I know that I well explained each point I mentioned it.
and then the timer cut you off in the middle of a sentence.
Correct. In the middle of the sentence. I didn't have the time to finish my second points in each question, probably. But I knew that my speaking fluency, my content had overcome everything. Probably if I had the time to mention everything, I will end up getting 30, not 27. It doesn't matter to me if I got 30 or 27 or 26. I needed 26. I'm so happy by getting 26. I don't need more. No.
Yeah.
So for people who think that I should mention everything, it's better to stick with one thing, well explain it, well elaborated in a confident way, with a natural peace, without stressing yourself out, but well explain whatever you're saying, and you will end up getting a good score. And
Progress
it
your
depends.
ideas clearly and
Clearly,
coherently from an honest and organic place, not from a
100%.
let me try to sound smart
No,
inorganic place.
no, no. It will not happen. Probably if I didn't go through that, I would not be saying this right now. But because
Wow.
I went through that, so I'm talking according to my personal experience. I can still remember, I cannot forget that I was about to push the cancel button and leave the test room before starting the writing section. Then I said, it's not the end of the world. You didn't do well, you can get it later. Just go through the writing section and gain some experience for the next time.
Wow.
And it turned out
Ali,
test.
I'm very glad you did
Yeah,
not press
yeah.
cancel.
I swear to God, I was 1 second away of pressing cancel. One
Wow.
second. I swear to God, 1 second away from pressing cancel. So that's for the question number one. I want to point out on your style and your advices for the question number one for other students to learn.
Yes. And I can
Don't
comment
listen.
here.
Yeah,
Go ahead if you
I'm
want to.
sorry. I don't want you to overstress yourself by making two reasons with two examples. Because the 45 seconds are not enough, believe me, to mention two reasons and two personal examples. You will end up giving one reason with one example, and that can harm your score. Because if you calculate it in order to mention two reasons with two examples, you will need at well elaborated examples. I'm not saying just brief examples, okay? The brief examples you can make them in 45 seconds, but they will not make you get the 26. Okay? To make a clear example, the 45 seconds are not enough to mention two of them.
I agree.
They're not enough. I tried it so hard to make it fit in 45 seconds. I couldn't. I needed at least 1 minute. At least. At least. Even though I tried to write it down on the paper and tried to read it from the paper, and the 45 seconds were not enough. So I said, no, that strategy is not correct
It's not correct.
because
It's
it's not correct.
unfortunately an over complication. It's
Correct.
over complicating something. It's also an
Correct.
unnatural way to think and speak.
100%. So you can give an example, of course. Examples are always good, but do not deep inside the personal example that you haven't gone through before. If you
Oh, but
try,
Ali, this is when people
if,
tell me, hey, this is not a lie detection test.
because when you are lying, you will sound not natural unless you are an actor. You're
It's
not a
also
pharmacist, you're
here.
an actor.
I
It's
have
in
to
your
say this.
mind.
I have to say this, even though 99% of people won't get it. I just have to. Best liar in the world. Show me the best liar on planet Earth. And if they need 26 for FPGEE, I will tell the best liar in the world. You are hurting yourself. You're not using your most powerful form of speaking. You are hurting yourself. Your highest scoring form of speaking comes from speaking your truth, which is hard, takes courage, and practicing that skill, getting better at what Ali said earlier: content, topic development, convincing, being a strong defender of your opinion. That's the power. That's the highest form of scoring.
Correct. Correct. For the question number two, we can have it in a different style. Why? So you should not state that like the proposal or the announcement. It's just a waste of time. You're wasting time from your topic development. Okay. The question is simply why the man or the woman doesn't agree with the proposal. So you can start your answer directly to the point. The man or the woman doesn't agree with the proposal by, for example, so your answer is to explain why. For example, and you can meet up with different people and share your thoughts with them. Therefore, she doesn't agree with this proposal. So we have to go back to the question. Always we have to go back to the question. That can help the rater to know that we're knowing what we're talking about, that
Yes.
we are elaborating our answer in a very smooth way.
Scoring rubrics is progressing the ideas. Ali is telling you in his own words, in his own good way, to progress, to dive into the progression of ideas. the most challenging part of the question. Dive into, put your face into the topic development, hardest part of the question. Instead, did you hear the first thing that he said? Instead of doing the safe and easy thing, which is just to repeat and summarize the statement, to repeat the proposal, the easy part. That's not putting your face into the hard, challenging, highest scoring part.
Okay. So I have a note here. So when it says summarize or briefly summarize the proposal, you can say in a 3-4 words maximum. Do not elaborate on it and do not lose time. Do not waste time, because that time that you are wasting will count from your topic development. So seize each second to develop your own ideas and to explain. I always insist on explain. Even with our first meeting, you said, Ali, you're not reciting stuff. I told you I am not good in memorizing stuff. I'm
I
good in
remember
explaining
that.
stuff. Yeah, so it's something I cannot explain. Probably it's something in my inner personality. Since I was in school, I don't take notes. I don't like to take notes. I feel like taking notes is disruptive for me. I cannot, because if I take note, I cannot multitask between taking notes and listening to the people or to the person. So I will mess everything up. So I'd much rather to listen to the lecture to understand what's going on, and they can explain it in my own way. And that's what they ask about. That's what I ask about. I'm not saying do not take notes completely, just brief notes. For example, the proposal is save money, okay, and save time. I can write these two things, save money and save time. Then I will look up in the listening for something related to these two topics, because they are discussing these two topics, these two main reasons. So I can listen to what they are saying, how they are defending their opinion with or against the first point, and I can explain it in my own way and link it to the first point in the
Integrate.
reading, connect it, integrate it to the first note in the reading and to the second note in the reading. So that is how like the general format should be. I know that Aaron hates templates. I know that. But Aaron doesn't hate templates in general. Aaron hates other people's templates. If you come up with your own template, if you build up your own template that you are comfortable with, it's not a regular template. It's just a structure that how you have to organize your response, how you have to start, how you should end your first point, how you should end and start your second point. That it's not considered as a template.
It's
It's your
thank you.
own template.
It's so highly personalized. It's so
Correct.
very much customized that it is not a template. It is Ali and hopefully the rest of you finding your own way of doing things.
Correct.
Ali found his own way of doing things that he became comfortable with. He might call it his own template, but I'm going to call it Ali's way.
Correct. The template is a way, by the way. It's a way. It's other tutor's way or other professor's way. That means if we want to repeat their way, will not sound natural. Will not sound ourselves. We'll reach a point where we're gonna pause, where we're gonna stutter, where we're gonna sound unnatural. So that's why I'm saying create your own structure for each question task. Create your own one. Emphasize it yourself to say always that I'm gonna pass it. Even though you make mistakes, I make mistakes. Probably in the email you told me if you want to edit something, I told you I don't care to edit anything.
That was cool.
That's what I am. That's what I am. I want to show everyone that I have my own mistakes. I do mistakes. Probably I'm not that fluent, but I ended up getting the required score. And I said to myself, I will not speak English anymore. I want to speak Arabic. I got the 26. I don't need it. You know, I'm comfortable with that. I don't want to speak English anymore. I'm not interested in learning English anymore because I know that spending time with native English speakers is by itself a natural learning process. So
Yes.
there's no need to spend time like on learning English, like listening to YouTube videos, and that was my way of learning English though. Like I taught myself.
Yes.
I didn't have the time to go to schools or to go to universities or hiring tutors to teach me the language, the basics. I was curious enough to look up easy, like YouTube videos, to learn you the basic skills, the basic tenses, the basic grammar. And then when you have your own foundation, you start build up on it.
Amazing. Do you want to know why he's so cool? He said, don't edit anything out. I want them to see that I make mistakes and that I still got 26, 27 in Ali's case. I want the people who watch and listen to this to see that I'm not perfect. And hopefully, this inspires them to feel less anxious in the test center on their real test.
You're welcome. Question number 3 is very important. And I know like it's a hassle for a lot of students, especially if they listen to a lot of YouTube videos. They will grasp a very wrong concept, which is do not care about the reading passage, which is very wrong, completely wrong. The most important information are in the reading passage. And you have to build up your answer according to the reading passage, because the listening will be an explanation about the reading, about the concept.
An example about the concept, and then we have to speak an
100%.
explanation.
Okay. So after many trials and after many times I tried to come up with the best answer for the question number 3, I figured something that you taught me as well, that Ali, integrate from the reading to the speaking. Do not care. I want to make a complex word, a phrase right now. I'm still starting. Do not think about the complex. It doesn't count. What counts is what you're saying later, further. When you start saying, for example, that concept is because of X, you will see the example illustrating the X and the listening. So you will say, this concept is X, Y, Z. And this was illustrated by the example given by the professor in the lecture when they mentioned that thing. So in that way, I integrated from the listening and from the reading. That's for the first point. I connected it. So I sounded like I understood what I've heard and what the concept means. That's what means explaining.
By listening to you, you made it easier for somebody else to understand it.
Understand it. Exactly. Sometimes the most important information is in the last 2 sentences, probably. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's in the middle. Sometimes it's at the beginning. So that's why it's very important to read.
Did I hear you say that the test takers like you are watching videos on the internet that say something like the reading passage is not very important?
Correct. Correct. Just take the definition. Just take the definition from the reading. But the question is not defined, it's explained. Let's explain. But just make sure to read the question. It takes you like a couple seconds to read it and to understand it. That's it. And while you are listening, the same strategy you followed for the question number 1, do it with the question number 2. Let's try to connect and to integrate the listening from the reading, or vice versa, the reading from the listening. There is no perfect answer. There's no perfect answer. It's either you can integrate the reading from the listening or the listening from the reading. Either way, whatever you find yourself more comfortable with. As long as you're speaking fluently, comfortably, with confidence, you're going to get a good score. And I
Yes.
can guarantee that.
Either way, as long as you're answering the question.
So that's why I said there's no perfect answer, because they know that everyone has their own style in speaking. They are not rating if your speaking style is the right one or it's not. There is no this way or no way. It's not that case. Okay, so you have to look up what makes you more comfortable. Making sure that you're answering the question and explaining the important information, not mentioning it.
Not
Explaining
just,
it.
yes, and
Not
explaining,
just
Ali's
saying,
he's trying to tell you, explaining is not paraphrasing. It's
no,
not even quoting accurately. It's not
correct,
summarizing fully.
correct. It's elaborating and clarifying. Make an idea clear for someone else.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I cannot come up with specific example right now, but that's the main idea, that make something easy for someone else to understand.
Yes.
In my eyes, question number 4 is a straightforward question. We can face it in our daily life. Usually when it takes about business or sociology or psychology, it's always the same structure, 2 points. Difference between the first and the second. There should be some difference and you have to mention them. And when you mention the second one, try to connect it to the first one.
Compare and contrast, integrate to the first one.
Correct. 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 You can simply mention the example and explain it. So you can explain the concept from the example. Okay. When I mentioned he doesn't modify the object, I made a contrast to the first one. So I sounded that I'm understanding what I heard from the lecture. So simply the question number 4, I can consider it as a small lecture in the class, a professor saying a small lecture in the class, asking you, just tell me what you have understood from this lecture. Like to compare the two things. So yeah, so it's always straightforward question. I tell you, like it's always straightforward question. Do not mention the listening as it is because it's reciting, not explaining. An answer about the question number 4, but in my own way.
Ali said that he's saying what he understood, but remember what Ali said earlier. It's better than that. He's helping somebody else to understand. You
Correct.
see, yes, I'm saying what I understand, but my energy, my purpose is to help you to better understand, to make the idea clear to someone else, explain, to make it understandable. A person that you can see and hear, the speaking templates are wrong. Because to get 26 on speak, and when you see somebody who did get 26 on speaking or above, and they tell you they used the speaking template, they did not get 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking because of the speaking template. No, they got 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking in spite of the limiting nature of the speaking template. They got 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking because their speaking fluency was so good, is so good, that it was able to overcome the limiting structure that is speaking templates.
I never got 26 using AI website.
Okay, but you did on the real test after meetings with me.
Yeah.
If you want to see more videos with people giving you their best advice on how they got their 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking, you can watch that YouTube playlist. It's connected to this video, and you can find it by searching for TOEFL IBT Speaking 26. You can also find it by going through speaking26.com. These are people who before were not getting 26 on TOEFL speaking and after did get 26 and pass their tests. I asked them, hey, can you give your best advice to people who are still taking the test? How did you go from not passing to passing?
When I read about the TOEFL exam, I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, okay, straightforward thing. It's an English exam. How difficult can it be?
The pharmacy board needs specifically 26 in speaking?
I used to change the template. Maybe this is more advanced, so I will use this the next exam, and I try to practice this for maybe a month or two to be able to master it, to say it without thinking. Every time I found myself getting maybe less score or the same score. It doesn't make any difference to just change the templates and use different introductory words. It didn't make any difference for me. Some of my friends advised me to start taking sessions with you.
This helped me in passing my TOEFL exam. Erin helped me to pass and get 26.
Erin, actually, any words will not be enough. But really, I'm very thankful.
26 in speaking, and I finally got it, and I'm so excited to get to the next step in my pharmacist license.
Look at my accent, look at people who got 26. So just surround yourself with people who motivate you.
Look, I passed. That bit that's missing is probably the most important bit to get you to 26.
Yes.
And that's the bit where Aaron, I felt, helped me realize where I was going wrong. And that bit where I was going wrong, I think it goes for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you speak English is your first language or not. That bit that was missing is something everyone really needs to understand in order to get that 26.
Once you are in the level that you need to become advanced in order to get the 26, you need to get rid of the templates.
Template will hinder your ability to deliver the question, because it shows that you are reading something or you are not speaking, you are reading.
I was using completely different template or different way. I started to apply your way, and once I started to practice your way, oh, it's easy for me.
That was really good for me. It really helped me because with this in my mind, I could speak faster, and because I was confident.
It's challenging, but after you pass it, the feeling of victory, it's worth it.
As English is my first language, I thought the speaking templates would be enough to get me the 26 that I needed. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and I only scored a 23. Your lack of getting 26 is not due to your speaking ability. It has been due to your less than optimal strategy. Get rid of the training wheels.
The templates were like, oh my God, why did they create those templates?
Aaron, you are a big helpful for students like us. We need somebody to stir revolution in our heart inside, give life to our conversation. And this will never happen through other sites like they have exact traditional pattern, the template, first, second, for example. Don't say, for example, the second time, for instance. Really? And robot, I felt myself without life. I don't have the freedom to speak.
You don't have to worry that much about how can I mention 2 reasons with 2 details or 2 examples. It's too much for me. You help students to increase their fluency.
Instead of following that speaking template or any other speaking template, trust your fluency.
For the students who are taking with you, trust this guy. He's amazing. He will shift or improve your level as soon as possible.
Just jump my score from 23 to 26 like this. How many hours I took with you? 5. Look at this. 5 hours in 2 weeks. I passed my test.
I was surprised that I passed after 5 sessions together.
I hope you keep inspiring and helping more pharmacists and more other students to achieve their goal and become a professional here in the United States.
If I had just found you earlier,
for people who's really they have concern and they need to do it very fast, go to the original, the source of help.
Go to Aaron. He's the guy. He was the guy for me. And hopefully he's the guy for you. And he'll set you straight. He'll tell you what you need to do to get that 26